Oh, Jesus, I got a headache. Just start the intro. Alright, so here we got the Hangover Part 3, the third and hopefully final chapter of the most unnecessary trilogy ever made. But before I talk about this, I should probably tell you what I thought of the first two movies. The original Hangover is really, really funny if you haven't seen it. I thought it had some clever moments in it, really funny, and it was my favorite comedy of that year until Zombieland came out, but still really funny. The second movie is everything that the first movie was, except funny. There were a few chuckles here and there, but they were all like uncomfortable laughs. But overall, not. It's very bad, but it didn't make me as angry as I thought I would. That's where we get into The Hangover Part 3. After the death of Alan's dad, Phil, played by Bradley Cooper, Stu, played by Ed Helms, and the rest of their friends and family decide to take Alan to a rehab center. While the Wolfpack takes them there, they are intercepted and kidnapped by a gangster named Marshall, played by John Goodman, who wants them to find Mr. Chow, played by Ken Jeong, who stole half of a $42 million supply of gold. If they don't find him, they'll kill Doug, who apparently can never do anything in these movies. That actor must have the easiest job, do nothing and get paid for it. So with the second movie, it was clear that there was no reason for this series to exist. And there's certainly no reason for this movie to exist either. But before it came out, my roommate kept saying, "Oh man, that trailer looks so funny." And I'm like, "No, this trailer looks like shit." However, when the director said that it would be something different and not follow the same formula as the first two movies, I thought, you know what, these trailers don't look good, but trailers can lie. Maybe this movie has hope. I'll give it a chance. Now, ironically, doing something completely different than the first two movies ended up being worse. This movie tries to feel like a mix between an action, thriller, comedy, if that makes any sense, and it fails miserably. There's nothing funny about it. I saw it with a group of people that this movie is suited for, and not a single person in that audience laughed. There were a few chuckles, but there was never that annoying jackass sitting behind me that laughed at everything in this movie. It was that bad. In terms of Alan, this movie series seems to be focused around him, and I am surprised how he has grown to become one of the most despised characters I've ever seen in a movie. The first movie, he was sort of like Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy. He was stupid, but he was lovable. You really couldn't hurt him at all. You couldn't hate him. The second movie, he was retarded to the point of, why would anyone invite this guy to anything that involved hard partying? In this movie, he has turned into the biggest, dumbest asshole on the planet. He's a jerk every time he does something, even if it's like innocent. I wanted to strangle him until common sense grew into his thick skull. Sorry, had to get that out there. You could tell I hate this movie. As for some of the other actors, Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, and even John Goodman, you could really tell that they did not want to be in this movie. Especially Bradley Cooper, who, throughout the whole movie, he has this face that says, "I was nominated for an Academy Award recently. What am I doing here?" I mean, he just looked so bored and frustrated that I really felt sorry for him being in this movie. As for Ken Jeong, he started out as someone I really liked in The Hangover and Community as Senior Chang. But he has overstayed his welcome for far too long. His offensive and pointless cameo in Transformers Dark of the Moon was the point where I started to dislike this guy. Now because of his third appearance in this movie as Mr. Chow, I am scared to watch the first Hangover or even Community because of this movie. And one thing I just gotta address. This mob boss is trying to find an international criminal. So rather than getting a hitman to take care of the job for him, or professional guys to kidnap him and make him talk, he finds what the equivalent of Ed, Ed, and Eddie is. What sense does that make? Rather than getting a hitman to do this job, you get... You can tell what I'm trying to say. Ugh. Now, normally in these kind of movies, there's at least one thing that I could find amusing. Even in the worst comedies, I've found one thing that I've enjoyed. It may not have saved the movie, but at least there was one thing that amused me. I tried to find something that I liked about this movie. Or even one little thing that amused me. Nothing. Nada. I hate this movie. I haven't cringed this much watching a movie since Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And it was so bad that staying for the end credits was not worth it. As soon as the credits rolled, I ran out of that theater as if it was on fire. It's... Please, people. Please go see something else. Go see Iron Man 3. Go support Star Trek Into Darkness. Go see Fast and Furious 6. Just stay away from The Hangover Part 3. Because this movie can burn in hell. The first movie was really funny. Had some clever moments. And was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. The second and especially the third movie have been garbage. So, that's my review for The Hangover Part 3. This has been The Cinemas with Mr. Robinson. Leave a comment, subscribe, check out my old channel, AlexG8462, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.